What if I told you that everything you believe could never happen to you will? The unthinkable, the unfair, the unimaginable, but also the incredible, the miraculous, and the life-changing. You see, most of us walk through life with this quiet, unspoken belief that we're somehow exempt from the extremes of human experience. That losing everything is something that happens to other people, or that massive success is reserved for someone else, or even the fact that tragedy won't touch our doorstep, or dreams that hit other people aren't for people like us. But then one day life just proves you wrong. One by one, the things you swore would never happen start creeping into your reality. The things you assumed were reserved for other people, they start knocking at your door. And suddenly you realize you were never immune. So the question is, what do you do when the unexpected finally happens? Do you let it break you, or do you let it build you? Because if life is going to come for you either way, you might as well be ready. A lot of times we have this comforting lie we all believe. We all live with a certain degree of denial. And it's not even our fault, it's a survival mechanism. If we woke up every morning fully aware of all the ways life could collapse in an instant, we'd go insane. So because of that, we build illusions. That could never happen to me. I'm too careful for that. I never let myself get in that situation. I know better. But reality doesn't care about your illusions. People don't plan to lose their jobs. People don't expect to get diagnosed. People don't walk into relationships thinking they'll end in heartbreak. People don't wake up assuming their life is about to change forever. But every single day, someone gets that phone call. Someone watches their world shatter. Someone realizes that no amount of planning, intelligence, or good fortune can protect them from the unpredictable nature of life. And guess what? One day, you will be that person. You don't get to sit this one out. None of us do. And it always starts the same way. You wake up, it's a normal day, the sun is out, you have your to-do list, you're thinking about work, lunch plans, maybe even that show you want to binge watch later. And then it happens. A single moment, a single piece of news, a single shift in reality. Maybe it's a phone call, the kind that drops you to your knees. Maybe it's an email, one that changes your future in a single sentence. Maybe it's something you never even saw coming. A slow unraveling that you didn't recognize until it was too late. And suddenly you're standing there staring at your reflection thinking, this can't be happening. But it is. And in that moment, you finally understand something that's chilling. You were never untouchable. Life can turn so quickly. Let me tell you a story of someone I once knew. He had everything figured out. He had a good job, steady income, no real risk. He played life safe. Then one day his company downsized. His job was gone. Did he see it coming? No. Did he have a backup plan? Not really. He wasn't that type of dude. Did he ever think he'd be the one struggling to pay bills? Never in a million years. But life doesn't ask for permission before flipping the script. And here's the twist. Just as quickly as things fall apart, they can also fall into place. Because that job loss, it forced him to start the business he'd been too afraid to try after I told him to try it multiple times. That financial struggle, it made him hustle in a way he never would have otherwise. That setback, it turned out to be the thing that set him free. And that's the thing about life. You never know whether the thing that's breaking you is actually making you. Stop thinking success can't happen to you. Let's talk about the other side of this. Because just as life can knock you down when you least expect it, it can also elevate you in ways you never imagined. But here's the problem. Most people never even try because they assume that success is for someone else. They say stuff like, yo, people like me can't get these opportunities. Or I could never make that much money. I'll never have that kind of success. Says who? The biggest lie we tell ourselves is that greatness is reserved for other people. But here's the truth. The the people who achieve insane levels of success, they're not special. They don't have some magic formula. They just stopped assuming they were exempt from success. They took the risks. They applied for the job. They started the business. They believe, why not me, was just as valid as why me. As you should too. Because if life is going to throw the unexpected at you anyway, you might as well bet on yourself. However, stay humble because life doesn't play fair. Maybe right now you're at the top of your game, everything is going well, money's good, relationships are solid, you feel untouchable. But let me tell you something, life can humble you in an instant. The same way you can go from struggling to thriving overnight, you can go from thriving to struggling just as fast. That's why humility is everything. Never assume you're too smart, too careful, too talented, or too anything to avoid life's curveballs. Because life doesn't care about your resume. It doesn't care about your confidence. It doesn't care how much money you have in the bank. It can take it all away in a moment. So stay grateful, stay prepared, and stay grounded. Because the second you start thinking you're untouchable, that's when life reminds you that you're not. Here's a question for you. What is the craziest idea you've ever had? Like, I know when you're thinking or before you go to bed or you're daydreaming, that idea that feels too ridiculous to even say out loud, or that dream that you keep buried because it's too big. Now ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? What if the thing you think will never work actually does? What if the risk you're too scared to take is the one that changes everything? What if your life could look completely different a year from now, just because you decided to try? Most people never find out, because most people assume their wildest dreams are impossible. But let me remind you, just like bad things can happen to you out of nowhere, so can good things. But only if you take the shot. I'll leave you with this before I go. Never think it can't happen to you. The heartbreak, the struggle, the loss, the success, the love of your life, even the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's all possible. Life doesn't play by your rules. It doesn't follow your timeline. It doesn't give you special treatment. So stay humble, stay open, and stay ready. But if you don't remember anything else from this video, remember this. Take the risk, because life isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's already happening. And whether you believe it or not, it can happen to you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, stay humble, be blessed, and keep going.